everybody. Welcome to episode 84 of Games My Mom Found. I am Mike Albertin. Who's eating some mushrooms with me tonight?
Super player, Michael Koopa Hughes.
Super Red Fox.
We do this on purpose, Sarah.
Okay.
You can just say your name.
Confused newbie, Sarah.
I don't normally tell people that we're going to do that.
Yeah, first time I was on an episode, I was blindfolded and just had to work. So.
Is that an episode or just something you guys did together?
All of the above, actually.
That's kind of funny. All right, I'm going to introduce what we're talking about because this is actually my idea. I need to close that other link. We're going to talk about Super Mario World for Super Nintendo, one of the best games ever made, and came out in 1990. Or no, 91 in America.
Okay. Something like that.
Yeah, 1990 in Japan.
I guess we know where you're shelving or boxing, right?
I mean, that's already obvious. Hey, this is actually a game my mom did find for me. She bought this for me. Well, it came my Super Nintendo.
Hey, same here.
This was one of very few I had in my collection when I was a kid.
Oh, it's still such a good game.
I don't remember when I got it. My Super Nintendo was the Donkey Kong Country bundle, so I would have got this after the fact.
If you ask me, that's a little more superior.
Wrong.
Oh, Donkey Kong Country is great until you get near the end of the game.
Yeah, let's not talk about that.
It's on the show later.
And then all of 2 is hard.
So first, I need to read the very, very important story of this game. That's in the manual. Bowser's previous defeat, Mario, Luigi, and Princess Tool decide to recuperate in Dinosaur Land. Meanwhile, in Dinosaur Land, the Koopa King and his Koopalins trap Yoshi and his friends in enchanted eggs. All right, that's all you need to know. There's more, but I don't want to read it.
Yeah. That is really all you need to know.
I mean, the story don't matter.
It's more than you need to know.
I played that game a billion times as a kid, and I never knew the story when I was that age. It never mattered.
Yeah, because when you start the game, you get that little text box in Yoshi's house, and that's it. That's all you get.
And they force you. They
force you to stand there.
But nobody's reading it. You're just pressing the button like it's going to speed it up, and it doesn't work.
It's just like when Yoshi comes out of the egg the first time, it tells you the story, and it's like, I don't care. Like, let's go.
Absolutely not. And I skip all the speaker boxes. I don't care.
I never click on any of them either. You don't need to, though. Like they don't.
I think I even did that as a kid.
I think I did a couple when I was a kid because I got stuck. I got stuck a couple times in this game as a kid. I had Game Genie, though.
It's funny, but because we skip all the speaker boxes in this, but in Mario 3, I think I read Peach's letters every level. I don't know what's different about that. Maybe it's because you don't have anything else to do. That's the only thing on screen, so you just read it.
Well, they're presented very nicely too. It looks like an actual letter. She stamps it or something.
Yeah.
And if you beat it with Tanuki Mario, then it says, "Thank you, weird raccoon man."
I did not know that.
I didn't know that.
True story. If you beat one of the ships with Tanuki Mario, it'll say, "Thank you, weird raccoon man."
That's cool.
Yeah, the king has different things that he calls you depending on what suit you're wearing.
See, Mario 3 was ahead of its time.
I've still never beaten Mario 3.
Really? Stop.
You're so sad.
Well, thanks for joining us, everybody.
But yeah, I beat Super Mario World twice in this week. I mean, I had
get all 96 levels.
Yeah.
94. I tried. But okay, one thing I do want to say is I know this game, they got rid of a lot of the powers that you had in 3. You only have the mushroom, the fire flower, then you have the star, then you have the new power up being the feather, which I am not good at, but I know people freaking love the feather.
Yeah, a whole game is feather. As soon as you get it, just use the feather the rest of the game.
I can't fly. I'm very bad at flying. I can fly, I can get up in the air, but I am not one of those people who can just keep staying up. I'm nope, I come down pretty quickly.
So once you drop, you can't stop.
Pretty much. I've never been good at it.
It is a pretty nice balance between the 2 power-ups, because Fire Flower gives you projectiles, but the cape gives you the levity of slowing your descent when you jump to make platforming easier.
Well, it's just the raccoon tail of Super Mario World, man.
Pretty much.
And you don't have to tap
really
the button.
about.
You don't have to tap.
Which is nice.
Right, yeah, you didn't have to tap it, I guess.
I was not good at the raccoon tail in 3 either. I can't fly for shit in that game either, so it's just
I see you on Star Fox. Anything flying based.
Anything that requires coordination.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm not that good at Star Fox. I don't like flying and things.
General,
I like any flying
good
game.
luck, and then you just crash as soon as you get out of the hangar.
Rocketeer for Super Nintendo. I crashed many times in that game. Does anybody have any idea what I'm talking about?
You ever played Solar Jetman for NES? You crash constantly in that game.
I stay away from the inferior system.
Inferior system?
I don't like NES.
You mean the one that you suck at?
Oh, that got deep.
This is what happens when me and her talk. So, but Super Mario World, one thing that I do love about this game that I always have is I like, for some reason, I like when platformers or any game give me a world map, even though all I'm doing is walking across this map and knocking off little dots off the screen and opening up new areas. For some reason, to me, it hits a certain spot in my head. I'm like, oh, okay, I need that. I don't know why.
It's a lot nicer than the ones in Mario 3D because they're not just squares that you're walking around. Like, it actually feels like a landmass that you're exploring.
And they give you different themes for each one. You have a different area that has different monsters. It's fun.
It's fun until the Koopas put on Mario Mask at the end of the game. If you get that, that was not fun.
I love that. That's great. It's so weird.
I never saw it until this past week, and I never did it before when I was a kid.
Oh wow!
I never.
I used to do it right away.
For you.
I used to change it right away as soon as you can get into Star World.
Yeah, fuck Star World. We'll get there. But I do like the difference in all the different enemies that you fight in this game. Like, they do a good job with it. I'm not a fan of Chuck. I will never be a fan of the stupid football player Chuck.
Sports.
That might be part of it. They don't die. They take like 4 hits to kill them or something.
3 hits, and you have to land just right on their head.
It's annoying.
And for some reason, he has a football helmet, but can also throw baseballs.
And can
throws
dig up
footballs, baseballs, whatever.
Yep, footballs, baseballs.
Just like throwing stuff.
It's like the Michael Jordan of Super Mario.
Michael Jordan wasn't in football, but okay.
Well, no, but he did. He did cross sports though.
Yeah.
Bo Jackson.
There you go.
Yeah, Bo Jackson's better because he played. I mean, because Michael Jordan wasn't even in MLB. Well, he was in the minor league. I just watched a whole documentary about him. So
I think the argument was more that he was a basketball player and not a football player. But okay.
We also saw Space Jam. The Michael Jordan story.
Hey, it's on Netflix. There's a whole documentary of him on Netflix, The Last Dance. Pretty good.
And that's what this podcast is really about.
Hey, it was really good. Oh, I do have a random question. Is Bonsai Bill only in that one level?
He's in a couple. I know he's in one of the special stages. It's not often.
Okay.
Yeah, there are a few that only show up very occasionally.
Yeah, it's a giant bullet bill that's in like the first level you might play. It's always I always like that enemy. And now that I'm looking at the list of enemies, I can't even remember him showing up anywhere else in this game.
He's in the Valley of Bowser, it says.
Oh.
Yeah, because he shows up, and then when all the bullet bills are all over the place, and it comes by at one moment, like later on into the level.
I do remember that one.
I do not. Oh, I have to learn something new before we did this episode. Apparently, Yoshi, I've looked at Yoshi for 15 years at this point, or more, probably more. And I never realized Yoshi has 2 little orange arms on Yoshi.
You never realized
that was.
I don't know what I thought it was. I just never thought about it.
Like a saddle?
I didn't think he had little orange arms. I don't know. It never occurred to me. I'd never thought anything about it until I was watching something, and they're like, "Yeah, you got 2. The orange thing is his arm." I'm like, "What? It's orange arms?" And I've never realized it before.
I kind of saw it as a saddle, I guess. Because
I think I did.
The way Mario's shoes there look, it looks like it could be the top of a saddle, but now I can clearly see they're his shoes. Those are stubby arms. Like, what are you gonna do with those things? He's very T-Rex.
It wasn't until recently that I learned that he's punching him whenever he
punches him in the back of the head.
I always thought that was super rude.
It's really strange.
Dinosaur, eat that enemy.
Like, you must be hungry. Punch.
Yeah,
pure abuse, and then he ultimately kills him when you need that extra boost on one of those gaps.
Have you guys watched the Dorkly videos on YouTube where they show Yoshi getting vengeance on Mario and a bunch of those?
I did see that.
I might have, but I don't remember them.
You should watch them.
Yoshi's like, this is what I get for reuniting you with your brother when you were a baby. I'm gonna beat on the back of my head now.
Yeah, this game feels like a very good evolution of like what was next after Super Mario Brothers 3. Even though I only played parts of Super Mario Bros. 3, but to me, this game is still way like it does a better job. One, you get to revisit levels. I like it in any game, and I get to revisit levels if I want to, for one reason or another.
Mm-hmm.
Which this game lets you do.
Especially Forced Evolution 1, because that's the best place to get extra lives if you need them.
Right.
I just go in that secret area that I found last time I played this game. The one top secret area 1, the one above the ghost house that just has flowers and whatever you need. Yeah, I never knew that existed until like 3 years ago when I beat this game for the first time. No idea that was there.
You might have been sheltered as a child.
You sound very sheltered.
Any comment?
Very late bloomer.
You were there.
Did you guys know that in the Game Boy Advance version of Super Mario World, that secret area that we're talking about, once you get every color of Yoshi in Star World, you can get every color from that spot also.
Oh,
Ooh.
That's a cool thing.
That's on the Game Boy Advance cartridge only.
Okay, I did not know that. Thank you. You put something new on this, something that I was unaware of.
You're welcome.
I will never use that information, but now I have
I've played this game
like
many times before 3 years ago.
Yeah, she was one of the devs.
Her uncle works at Nintendo.
Yeah, obviously.
I could have played this. I mean, I played as a kid. I just never beat it. I always would get to like Bowser's area and just not finish it for one reason or another. That's a good way to put it, Rich.
I think Bowser's like an easier boss than most of them. I mean, Wendy is harder than Bowser.
I struggled with him. See, Rich, you're the only one that got that joke. So.
Oh, that's gonna happen. Probably in the entire world, buddy.
Yeah, I know. I'm okay with that. I always think about that when I get to certain end of certain games. For those that are listening, we had a friend named Bill who used to he would always get to the end of a game and just quit. He would just be like, I'm done. He wouldn't like to finish games. He'd get all the way to the final boss, might even max out his level and just walk away.
All his RPG characters would be super maxed out. And it's like, how the hell did you do that? And he'd be like, oh, I just had a lot of time on my hands. Or
he did have
Game Shark.
I always remember that. He would just quit. He would just be like, I'm done, and just never finish games.
Yeah, that would happen a lot, man.
I can think of 3 instances where I did something very similar, like GTA 4, GTA San Andreas, and Dragon Quest 9. I got to the very end and then struggled, and I just put the game down and then just never came back to it to finish it.
The only game I can remember doing that with is Final Fantasy 3, not the original one that came out way back. But when it finally came to the States for the first time, that Final Fantasy 3, I just got to the last dungeon and just stopped.
That game is tough.
That last dungeon is, the real Final Fantasy 3.
Not the one that we know as Final Fantasy 3.
Yeah.
Not the
I think
superior.
It's Final Fantasy 6.
Yeah,
thanks, Square.
6 is definitely superior. But, yeah, I don't know what happened there. I just got sick of that dungeon.
That happens. I know you beat 3 because I was there when you beat the real 6. So.
Well, of course.
But Super Mario World, just one thing that's so interesting to me, other than I can't fly in this game, is just as I was really digging into this game, because this was one of the first ones I really was I told myself I'm going to get 96 ages. I lied to myself, apparently, I found out, but that's what I went in trying to do in this game. And when you do that, the levels are so unique. There's so many different levels that you can beat different ways with hidden keys I didn't even think about before, and it really changed the way I was playing this game because one, I used a YouTube video to find out where to get the other exit because I don't got time for that.
Couldn't do that back in the day.
No, you could go to the library and look up.
That's why when we first
Nintendo Power.
Oh well, that your uncle gave you those issues, I'm sure. But back when we found the star levels for the first time, man, you have a loaf of shit in our pants. We didn't know that existed. That was exciting to find that. And the levels were extremely hard, but to kind of be able to use that and skip all the other worlds just to get to the end, it was pretty damn cool.
I never done it till today when I was just randomly playing this game.
Well, that was the thing back then. Speaking of, it was all word of mouth. Even my nieces and stuff that didn't even play games, they would show me tricks and secrets that I never knew of. I'm like, how the hell did you even know that? You don't even know how to jump. I doubt that too, but you never know.
That was my brother. My brother taught me all the secrets first because he always got to play the games first because he was older than me. So I learned all of his secrets.
I don't have any childhood memories of that type of stuff with this game that I can remember. I do remember one time going to somebody's house, and my friend, his sister was really good at games, and she had gotten the thing where the Koopas had the masks on, and you had the piranha plants, I think, were different. And I was like, what the hell happened? But I wasn't until many years later that I figured out what she did. It was many years later.
Well, the piranha plants turn into pumpkins.
Yeah.
Yes, they get. I don't like the change at all. I hate it. Really bothers me. I don't know why.
Make
but
Dinosaur Island. Make Dinosaur Island great again.
Oh, God. I also never knew the story of this game until I read it right before this episode because I forgot this. I mean, as Mike said, no one cares about the story of Mario World. He's not wrong. But.
Nobody cares about story in any Mario game.
I care about Mario RPG.
Mario RPG, Paper Mario games.
Yeah.
Non-RPG Mario games.
Okay, fair.
Odyssey tries.
Yeah, this story kind of flops, but
Mario
game,
64 he's getting a cake.
Sure he is. Cake is a lie. Sorry.
Oh, jeez.
Wrong game.
Yeah, I know. We played Portal on the show too not too long ago. Good game.
Man, Portal's great.
And also, like with Mario World, one thing that I remember as a kid that amused me and doesn't amuse me as an adult anymore, but like every time you beat a castle, you see Mario destroy the castle in a different way, and that's always stuck with me. I remember as a kid just seeing that because I didn't get it took me forever to get the world 6 or 7 in this game as a kid because I'd either get bored or stop playing or something would happen. Yeah, that was me as a kid.
Did you have a favorite castle? What's your favorite destruction of a castle? I remember I always had one when I was little.
I can't remember. What about you though?
It's Castle 4 because it blows up and then there's a little like bandage on the hill's face after it explodes.
Oh.
The one that rockets off into the background.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That one's
I like when he just
too.
picks up the castle and just punts it off screen.
Yeah, they were funny. I mean, they're still funny. I wasn't as amused this time as an adult, but they're still funny.
Mike's too mature for us.
I had fun. I had fun entirely in this game the entire time I was playing it, so that was nice. It never really dawned on me before how about the secret agents and how there's so many. I think there's like 24 or 25 secret agents in this game, something like that.
I never really thought about the number.
I was reading somewhere that said it, but I can't.
Oh.
It wasn't that I wrote it. I didn't write it down while I was playing. It's just, and also it never really dawned on me how every land is named after food in this game. Like the whole theme is food.
Yeah,
that did not dawn on me.
Seems to be a Nintendo thing because Kirby does the same thing typically.
Yeah, but Kirby sucks and eats everything, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, Mario's not. I mean, he's a fat guy, but he's not really eating anything.
Maybe that's just out of convenience. He went to Foodland so he could eat something just as he goes along his journey.
That's why he hits Yoshi, because Yoshi keeps eating all the berries.
Yeah. He's pissed about it. He's hungry.
It wasn't until recently I realized Donut Plains, Vanilla Dome, Chocolate Island. I think Chocolate Island stuck out to me always as a kid. I fucking hate Chocolate Island, but...
Oh, yeah. Do we need to get started on Chocolate Island, too? Is it time? I freaking hate that level.
We can. We're there. We'll talk about it. It's a level that... Yeah, you go.
Oh, man. Go ahead.
It's a level that changes depending on how long you're in the level, I think, if I'm right.
Yes, you have to stay extra long if you want to get the regular ending, and then you try to speed through it if you want to get the key ending.
And then, depending on how many coins you've collected, changes the exits too. Oh, man. It's such a pain. 3 exits? Yeah.
That's probably what I'm missing then of my 94.
Yeah, entirely possible. Probably somewhere in the forest.
I don't care enough to find out, but I'm pretty sure that's probably it. I'm done with this.
Probably the ghost house in the forest. The ghost house in the forest is like 3.
That was the last one I needed when I finished it yesterday, because you beat Forest Evolution 1, it makes a path to the ghost house, but then you can beat the ghost house, so it erases that path and then makes a path back to Forest Evolution 1. Yeah. It's like, okay, it's so intuitive.
That's probably another one I'm
very happy about it.
I mean, Ghost House, this is also the first Mario game where you get ghost houses. I am not a fan of these levels because they're very puzzle-orientated levels, and I don't enjoy them.
You can't take Yoshi in.
That too. I love Yoshi. Yoshi is one of my favorite. Is my favorite Mario character. My son's too.
Oh.
By the way, I found out. So
I wouldn't go that far.
Yeah, I wouldn't say he's my favorite.
He's a free hit in this game, though, so that's nice.
That did bother me how this game only has the 2 hits or 3 if you have Yoshi. Like if you get hit and you're in Cape Mode or Fire Flower, you just go down to being small. You don't have that in between like you do in more modern Mario games.
I think this is the last one to do that, because when we did the Mario Land episode, Mario Land 1 did it, and Mario Land 2 gave you the extra hit in between. So I think this was the last one to do it.
Mario Land 2 is so good.
Oh, God. I hated to. I hate it. They hate the music. I hate the power-ups.
Well, good thing you didn't come on that episode.
Mario Land 2, like, what do you hate about the power-ups?
Bunny ears.
It's adorable. He's got to fly with some weird or adorable animal thing.
Sure.
It's from Japan.
Mario and animal abuse. My childhood.
There's a lot of it in this game.
Okay. Don't get PETA started. Like they need more fuel.
You're going to get a letter from PETA, Mike.
I won't say a lot of things on the show. We're okay so far. But it's just... Yoshi is... I think such a great compliment to this game, though, just having him in here. You have a character who can jump on objects that Mario couldn't. You can jump on a Koopa and take him out in one hit. Like, it makes this game so much more fun than it would have been without Yoshi. For those that didn't know, Yoshi was supposed to be in Mario 3, but they had to scrap him because they couldn't make it work.
Yeah, Miyamoto always wanted Mario to ride a dinosaur, even from the original Super Mario Brothers. He wanted Mario to ride a dinosaur and have a gun.
Nice.
Well, Shadow got a gun. Does that count?
He got a gun in, was it Mario and Rabbids?
Oh, I never played it.
Neither.
There's a split.
I don't think he has the gun in that. I know somebody does, though.
There was one reason that Nintendo won that console war and Sega didn't. That was one of those reasons.
But
for decisions like that.
No, it's Sega does what the 10 don't.
Oh, God.
I watched that commercial more times than I ever think.
Like, give hedgehogs guns and make them into werewolves.
Someday I'm gonna
play it. Speaking of jumping on things that you normally couldn't, like, I love that you can spin jump on the ghosts and like the green bubbles and the ghost houses.
In theory, yes, you can. In theory.
I
can never make it work, ever. I tried. Like, I've seen speedrunners do it constantly. I try it, I just get hurt. And I'm like, well, fuck this shit. So, I don't do it. I can't do it. I don't know how people do it. I cannot make it work.
Well, you can't fly either. So.
I can get up in the air. I just don't stay up there very long.
Which one of you actually really utilized the spin jump, though? Because out of all new features, I mean, that stands out, obviously, but that's something I rarely used, I feel.
I mean, you only really used it to go through the blocks.
That's it.
Yeah,
and there wasn't too many occasions, I feel.
So many more. I think you can use it to jump off ghosts, jump off the bubbles, as you said, jump off like everything if you want to.
Oh, yeah, like those spike balls. You can jump off of those, spin off of those.
And I use it quite a bit, especially those big boos. Whenever they're in my way, I just jump over them like that.
Yeah, I'm never good at that.
I also kept trying to hit R to do it for some reason on my controller.
Because it would make sense.
A seems like it's like the dash in Mega Man X, where it just feels like it's out of the way. You have to let go of other buttons to hit it.
I mean, like when I was playing through this game this time, I also was paying a lot more attention to details that I didn't pay attention before. Like there are enemies that are only in one level. Like Torpedo Teds only show up in one bonus level that you would never find. You might never find, because I know as a kid I never found it.
They were in the sunken ship level, I thought, or one of the special ones.
I thought it was
because I was having a hell of a time getting past them because the arms drop them out and then they like descend a little bit before they start going. They kept hitting me.
Can only be found in Soda Lake.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's only in the one level. I thought.
Oh, okay. Well, then that level
too.
was a pain in the ass.
Yes, it was.
There's a couple really tough levels in this game, but luckily most of them are all kind of hidden. Like this game, you can easily go play through the majority of this game without getting too frustrated, and you will learn how to do it. Like, I mean, the fact that you can replay levels, you can just get enough extra lives that you need to try something over and over again until you get it. Time consuming, but you can do it.
Oh, like Tubular.
We'll get to Special World later. But.
Okay, there are 2 ways to beat Tubular. How did you guys do it?
Stupid pea balloons. Is there any other? Is there really? Jumping with Yoshi?
Yeah, jump over with Blue Yoshi. then you can make it to turtles, grab one of them, fly the rest of the way out.
I didn't do that
I
either.
used to do it the Yoshi method.
It's the easiest.
I hate Tubular is the worst level in this game, period.
Oh, easily. I think it's fairly notorious for being a really tough Mario level.
When I was playing through this game a few years ago before the podcast, I was trying to do all special where I got the Tubular and I was trying to play the game sort of legit where I would only save state at the beginning of a level, so that way I wouldn't have to go, get the extra lives or anything. Like I just kind of keep playing, and I just could not do Tubular, and I just said fuck it and never went back.
It's a rough one.
This time I just said fuck it and save state all the time. I didn't care.
I played it on Switch, so I could always rewind if something happened.
God, I love rewind in retro games. It's so useful.
Oh, it's great, man.
I forgot this is on Switch now.
Destructoid
Yeah,
has
because
a
it's
list.
in the network. It's in the SNES network.
Mhm.
I have that because I got it for Tiff so she could play Animal Crossing online.
Destructoid's got a list of the top 10 Mario levels. Number 6 is Tubular.
You mean the top 10 worst is what you're trying to tell me?
Hardest.
Okay. Yeah, I still hate underwater levels in Mario games. And this game, I don't enjoy them because you move too slow. And if you're holding something, you move so much faster. But how fast he moves is like, I don't like it. It's too fast at times. I felt very out of control, and that could have just been a me problem.
What I don't like is there's no option of a frog suit in this one.
I like
Bring back the hammer.
That's what it
suit.
is, holding something. You're going as fast as the frog suit as soon as you're holding something underwater.
Yeah, but you're always going up though, so you got. It's almost like flying from Mike, but it's underwater. It's like you gotta
too many buttons.
Yeah, you gotta maneuver.
I didn't like it. I also can't shell jump for the life of me. I didn't try because I don't have to, but I know I've watched enough speedruns. I know how much they love their shell jumping.
Oh, no, I have
I've never tried
no capacity to do that.
I have no desire to do that.
I didn't even know, like, that's another thing that's so impressive about this game is, like, if you watch a bunch of speedruns and you watch, like, Heizo versions of this game, and there's all these little mechanics that are in this base game that are never used but are there that people have found and now used for other puzzles and other games that they have created.
Yeah, like, there's Mario Maker levels built entirely around that shell jump trick.
Yep.
I don't know how the hell people do it. I've watched it and they make it look simple, and I'm like, yeah. And I was playing, I'm like, oh, I meant to kind of try it, and I'm like, yeah, who am I kidding? It's not happening. It's impressive though. It's impressive to see how people can take a shell, throw it up, jump on it again, and then like throw it after that, and there's just whatever the hell they do. It's impressive. I think they throw
Odyssey
it and
had
jump
something, where it ricochets off a wall and then they jump on it as it comes back. Odyssey had something similar where you could throw Cappy, and as it's hovering in the air, you can dive and jump off it, but I couldn't even do that.
Yeah, this game's complicated, but very impressive still. Like that's like I kind of said at the opening of the show, like this game, I said how great, like it still holds up just fine. It is still an amazing Super Nintendo game, and it's an amazing Mario game. I mean, there's a few Mario games on Super Nintendo that aren't as great as Rich remembers. Mario's Missing, right? Is that the one? The fabled one? There's a time machine that made you upset.
Yeah. Good thing that is history as well.
One of those games, I remember you wanted to
Mario's Missing is the geography one, like geography and history.
It's not bad. I beat Mario's Missing and Mario's Time Machine. Just
Both
because.
of them sucked ass. Hard ass.
I might cover them.
It's because you do all the puzzles and then the boss is like the same thing. It just goes back and forth really slow. Like
you need
back to learning.
For those.
I did play on a phone though. No, I just remember the joke was Rich when me and Rich were kids. He had one of them he was trying to sell to Funkoland or GameStop, whatever the hell it was at the time, and they wouldn't take it because when you shook it you could hear something inside of it. So we broke it and he broke it instead outside.
Yep, we had a hammer, and that was a lot more fun than actually playing the game.
So that story's always I had to be mentioned. I mean, as we were kind of talking about, like another thing about the castles, because you can't bring Yoshi into the castle, which as a kid I didn't like. As an adult, I still don't like because I love Yoshi. But the castles are still fucking tough. Not the first one, but a lot of they get pretty complicated, but not as hard as the forts. The forts are like annoyingly hard at times.
I like that
the only castle I really have a problem with is Wendy's castle. That one sucks.
The third one, Lemmy's castle, where the Magic Koopa is shooting all the blocks. I always seem to struggle with that for some reason.
When I was a kid, that always pissed me off. You had to really time like when to kill that thing.
Mhm.
Yeah, you have to line him up right. You have to, get him to shoot you at the right spot, so that way he'll drop. To get rid of the blocks you can get through.
Right.
It's kind of
Or
annoying.
you can spin jump to get out too, and then go past him.
Who spin
It's
jumps
a
in this
pain.
game?
There's
I
a
never
spin
know make
jump
that
in this game.
I never been able to make it work. I never did that with him. I always just had him shoot things to get out. Like I know you can jump down, but not like from when they're vertical. Is vertical the right word I want to say? Yeah, or is that horizontal?
Yeah. No,
I
you're
don't
right.
know. Are they across from you? That would be horizontal.
I couldn't remember what was what all of a sudden.
Up and down is vertical. Left or right is horizontal.
Vertical is the word I wanted. So, also, like, another cool thing they introduced in this game was the first Mario, because again, first Mario, but also the baby Yoshis. Like, I was a kid, I remember looking at the instruction book and be like, oh, these are so cool, but I never saw any baby Yoshis. I never really I never got to the Star World. I did the Star World.
When I first saw like the different colored Yoshis, man, I thought it was the coolest shit ever. And then to see that they actually do different stuff.
They do some, I mean, it's not, I never used a lot of their abilities in the game. Because I know each one has its own ability. Like, I think it's, the blue Yoshi, if you have any shell, he can fly. Red Yoshi can just shoot fireballs in any shell. And then the yellow Yoshi can stomp, which I never did in this playthrough one.
Yeah, it's whatever abilities the green Yoshi gets when he eats that colored shell.
I had forgotten that green Yoshi could fly whenever you get a blue shell.
Mm-hmm. And if you find wings in those rare levels, he becomes a blue Yoshi.
Or if you get that rainbow crazy shell, then you can do all three.
Oh, yeah.
I never eat that thing.
That's rare.
I stay away from it because it's mean.
That's another thing that if you spin jump on it, it just instantly destroys it. It's handy.
I didn't do it either. I've always told myself I'm going to use the multicolored Yoshis, and every time I play this game, I don't bother. I get them like whenever I just get them, and then that's the end of them. Every time.
Oh, man. I'd go back to Star World 2 just to get the blue one over and over again.
I used to do that constantly.
It's so handy.
I just never did. Never was one of those things that I would use often enough. I mean, it is cool, like with Star World, the whole idea of Star World that you have each world has its own little star portal. You can kind of jump through the game, which is a great way to, as I found out today, you can beat the game with only beating like 11 levels. You can get right through the game. I beat 12 because I wanted to switch. But it's cool that that's there. Mario 3 had the same thing, but it's still so cool to see. That's because I've never done it before.
Well, it's cool, I think, how they've morphed the warp kind of pipes through each game. I mean, there's versions of that in Paper Mario, too, and it's always 7 that you're going to warp somewhere on the map. It's continued throughout most Mario games.
That's cool. I stayed away from... I haven't played enough Mario games lately, mainly because I suck at them, so I stay away from them. And I don't like...
I'm going to get you to play Galaxy, so look forward to that.
Good luck with that. It's on Wii. So good luck with that one. I'm not a fan of the Wii.
Galaxy wasn't.
It's a great game, Galaxy and Galaxy 2. They're both
2
great.
I've never played yet. I've always.
Oh, 2 is awesome.
Oh.
Because the Yoshis are in 2. So, and they each have different abilities.
I want to play it, but the problem is that I don't want to play on the Wii. So now if they put it on the Switch,
Yeah, we're going to wait for that.
They're
Mario
saying that
HD
they're going to put it
collection.
on the Switch.
That's what's hurting me right now. That's why I haven't beat Wind Waker yet, because I don't want to play it on like Wii or anything. Because I have it.
Play in the
I have
Wii
the
U.
action. I don't have a Wii U.
You can buy one for cheap.
Won't do that.
I have a Wii U. I actually had to hook it up recently for the show.
Oh, they just need
Well,
to port it. I don't understand why it's so hard for them to do it. Like, I would love to.
We talked about that on the Pokemon Snap episodes. Like, they don't want money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seriously, Pokemon Snap 2, I would be all over that.
It's coming.
That'd be great.
Yeah, that's coming.
I can't wait for that.
I can't wait either. I'm surprised they're even going with it
Me too.
after all these years now.
Well, it makes sense. There's way more Pokemon now. They can make a bigger map. The way they're doing their RPGs now, like the last Sword and Shield. I mean, the way that looks, how big the world is, you could easily do it with Snap.
Yeah,
That'll be exciting.
I'll definitely jump on that when they release it.
And we were kind of talking about with Special World. Special World, also one thing that always kind of amused me that I think when I first saw it didn't really click is that the Super Nintendo symbol they have in the top part of Special World is the Super Famicom symbol.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
Which
my
I only
God.
know because of ZNES back in the day when me and Rich were emulating. That was the first time I saw that symbol. I'm like, oh, wait a second. Freaking ZNES. That was a great emulator.
I still have it.
It's better emulated, but back in the day, man, that thing was something else. So a couple of things that I should mention about this game is, one, it wasn't until I want to say 2 years ago when I played through it that I found out that there's a giant Big Boo boss. I never knew he was in this game until recently.
Oh, to get to the first star.
Yeah, I never knew that boss fight existed. And I remember when I think it might have been you, Ashley, who had mentioned it. And then I went and beat that. I was like, what the hell? When I finally fought him. I mean, it's a simple fight, but it was just, I never knew he was in the game.
I'm surprised they only used him once since they used Reznor like 8 times.
Reznor is one of the hardest boss fights in the game.
What? Are you being serious?
Yes, I don't like Reznor.
Are you being serious?
Bowser's the hardest to me, but I don't like Reznor. I have died on Reznor more times. When I used to play this game legit, I would fight Reznor, I'd knock them all down, and I'd get killed like on the last one, or I'd kill him and fall in the lava after I killed him. I don't like Reznor.
Coordination is not Mike's strong suit. We're learning that a lot right now.
No, it's not. Never has been. Never will be.
Glad you finally accepted that, buddy.
I accepted that a long time ago. You don't see me playing any sports, do you?
Or action-oriented games too much?
No, I stay away. No, stay away. Hey, you remember when I was a kid, I only played RPGs when I could help it.
Right.
It's just, the Reznors are cool looking because they're Triceratops, but it's an annoying fight to me that they just have them on the spinning thing. If you take too long, the whole bridge will just burn up, and then you're out of luck.
Yeah, but it takes like 5 seconds to beat them. I mean, you just
maybe
hit
the way
the first
you play,
3 down,
not
jump
the way I
on,
play.
hit the last one.
It didn't take me 5 seconds to beat them when I play them every time. I can tell you that much.
Okay.
They kick my ass.
They're not as easy as Boom Boom Mason 3, where you can just hit him and then he gets back up and you hit him immediately again and then gets back up and hit him again.
The forts
As long as he doesn't start flying away from you, you're good.
I also want to say the forts are pretty hard in this game, too.
I feel they're harder than the castles half the time.
Yeah, and they're also, I think most of them are optional.
They are. Most of them are optional. I think only one is not.
Reznor's only been in two Mario games. Last appearance was
the other one?
New Super Mario Brothers 2 for the DS.
Huh.
Or 3DS? 3DS.
3DS. That's okay. They don't need to come back.
I like Reznors.
Not my thing. They irritated me. They've killed me many times. I also feel like the Koopa fights in this game, which are the boss fights, are not as good as they were in 3. I don't really care for the boss fights in this game. Like, the Koopalings are just kind of annoying to fight, in my opinion. They're not hard.
The ones that go up the wall and then drop on you, they're fine. The ones that bounce up and down out of the pipes, those are a pain in the ass.
Well,
like Sarah was
mostly
saying,
Wendy, because she throws shit at you, too.
Yeah, Wendy sucks.
There's the Paraboos, I think, are the fireballs bouncing around. It sucks.
It's hard.
I want to say those are the hardest ones, for sure.
They're called zigzag lava bubbles.
Yeah. Okay,
I don't know.
I was close.
What bothers me about the bosses in here and any previous Mario games, most of them weren't much of a spectacle until in later games is when it became a big deal. You were facing a boss, maybe introducing some newer mechanics that you might not have seen. These games were void of that.
Yeah, and
because
for
they
all the
can
bosses,
give you all the mechanics.
I mean, they're kind of the same. Like Iggy and Larry, number 1 and number 7, are the same type of boss that you just have to knock the guy in the lava and he's on a teetering level. Like,
right. You have multiples. It's like 2 of each.
Except for Ludwig.
Slightly harder for some. You know.
Ludwig's the only one that he shoots fireballs at you and spins in a shell. And
yep.
Ludwig's my favorite of the kids for some reason. I like him. I don't know why, but I like Ludwig the most. Ludwig and Roy. I don't know. Roy is probably a close second.
Roy's got those sunglasses.
Ludwig has what, like whitish yellow hair in this?
Yeah, he's got white hair. He looks like he's a composer. He's got like Beethoven hair.
Right. So in further iterations, he had like blue hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Roy's the one with the pink head.
Roy. Oh yeah, that's the one I always think is like a fat girl, but it's not.
Okay. I don't know how you got that. Okay.
You got a pink
That's the
head,
first time I've ever heard that. I don't know. The Koopas are they're not fun fights. No matter how many times I do them in this game, I don't care for them at all in this game. And I try to like them, they just never have done it for me.
They're not great.
Yeah, I mean, I think it just hurts how simplistic they are. I mean, even in Mario 3, like when you're facing the bosses in there, same thing. They're very simplistic. It's the Koopa kids with wands, and you got to jump on them.
Yeah, it's always been 3 hits too. It's like there's 3 hits for a lot of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty basic.
Yeah, the same with this. I just don't.
I mean, it only gets exciting when you face Bowser himself, right? I mean, now that's a spectacle. You got the lightning and the thunder, and he's in that
Peach's saying help. Like,
yeah, you got the stupid like Joker clown mobile thing he's in.
I love that thing. It's so funny.
Random fire from the sky.
It's probably. I mean, that's the best boss fight easy in this game. I mean, it's kind of sad that the weakest, like, this game has so many good things about it, but the boss fights are probably easily the weakest thing about this game.
Yeah.
Which doesn't mean much because they're just quick fights.
As I was saying, I think that's pretty much the way it is in every Mario game. I think 2, during all this whole term of games, since the first one, I think 2 probably had the most, like, exciting boss fights.
You mean Doki Doki Panic?
Doki Doki Panic, yeah.
But it was supposed to be, yeah.
Yeah, no, that does have really good fights. Because they're not the same thing over and over again.
Yeah.
Where, like, in this game...
Bosses in Galaxy and Odyssey are, well, bosses in Galaxy are good. Odyssey's kind of so-so.
I really like boss fights in games. Like, I look forward to them being fun and different. It's just one of those, I like them a lot.
Well, I think it's more like generational at this point, like that they're more simplistic, and they were kind of following the formula of Mario 3.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
But also, we haven't talked about how fucking annoying Forest of Illusion is in this game. I mean, I know as a kid, I probably got stuck in there for a while, and even as an adult when I was playing through this game just now, I had to use a guide and watch video because we kind of mentioned a little bit earlier, Forest Illusion has different exits, but they all just keep wrapping around in a circle unless you do certain things to keep. It's really annoying.
It's basically the Lost Woods before the Lost Woods.
Link to the Past should already been out at this time, right? Or no, isn't there Lost Woods in the first Zelda?
Oh yeah, well okay.
Yeah. Upper left hand of the map.
Yeah.
That's how I remember Zelda games, where stuff is on the map.
That's probably where they got the idea from. They were just copying the first Zelda. Yeah, No Link to the Past was a few years after this game. I forgot. I'm getting my years confused.
Yeah, it didn't really have a Lost Woods to it, though.
I mean, Lost Woods and Link to the Past aren't really that bad.
Yeah. I was thinking more of Ocarina, where the spits you back out at the beginning if you go the wrong way.
You just have to follow the sound of her. You don't
get that the second time, though, when you have to go back to the Forest Temple.
Oh, yeah. It's been a while. We need to play that game someday on the show. So, enough of that.
Wait, you guys play Majora's Mask and not Ocarina?
Yeah.
What?
Okay.
I know why, but we'll discuss that later.
Okay.
So, it's still, I mean, I'm trying to think of anything I want to say next. So, like, one thing about, like, all the different exits, as I was saying earlier, it's very interesting, like, how different, like, if you were playing this game as a kid, how different your playthrough could end up being, and how we might all not have gotten the same thing, because we might have found secret that the other guy didn't find.
I think that's why I got so obsessed with it as a kid. Like, all the secrets. I wanted to know every secret in that game, because there were so many different ways to do things.
Very impressive for a Super Nintendo game. And I gotta say, I really hate the mask on the Koopas. I've been watching the video I've been talking, and I just fucking hate it.
I love that.
I do not like Koopas wearing Mario masks. It's not right.
How about the fact that there are Goombas in this game?
I like the Goombas.
They're Galoombas.
Oh, they're not Goombas?
Yeah, no. they're actually not called Goombas.
Huh, I did not know that. I always thought they were Goombas.
Shit. Yeah, that's why when you hit them, they just flip over instead of flattening out like a normal Goomba.
Yeah, it's the first introduction of them.
Oh, I learned something new then.
They look like hazelnuts with legs.
Yeah, I mean, one thing annoying about them is they can take the 2 hits, because the first one doesn't kill them.
Unless you spin jump on them.
Which I can't do.
So we've established.
There's a lot of things in Mario games I can't do. We also haven't really talked about that the way that they divvy up the levels of secret agents is they give you a key in these different levels. You have to find, and I mean, luckily the key is always right next to the keyhole, but that's how you activate secret exits all the time.
I love doing those as Yoshi because at any time during the lock animation, you can spit out the key.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just doing the little sounds, and all of a sudden you go, "Bow!" where you spit out the key. It's awesome.
I mean, it's very interesting. And then, like, the whole... Like, I do like how there's one part where you can go through a pipe and you can see on the world map, you'll see Bowser's Castle, and you're nearby. It's in World 3. You can see it. Like, you're not there, but you can just see it. I thought that was kind of cool how they do that.
I have returned.
Bowser's castle with his little casino light.
Casino. Oh yeah, it does.
It's got the neon light outside.
Like
There's always some casino aspect in Mario games. I always thought that was so funny. Like the casino in Mario RPG, like random.
Wow, you're not kidding. Like there's slot machines and just about everyone.
Yeah, there's casino in every Mario game.
2, Land 2, 3D World. Man, I never really thought about it.
Every Paper Mario, every RPG one.
It's wild.
Mario's a gambler. He has a problem.
He does beat on dinosaurs and throw them down holes, so he does have
they owe him money.
Jeez, Japan, aren't we past Italian stereotypes at this point?
No, we're not.
You guys sound really surprised at the behavior of someone on mushrooms.
Good point. It's all a dream. He just ate too many mushrooms.
Well, it's supposed to be there in the theater. They're play acting. That's what
3.
Mario 3 told us.
Yeah.
Yes, but it's supposed to wrap together, like the fan theory is that every Mario game is a play that they're doing because of that.
I mean, it really kind of seems like it's even in some more of the later games, like the new Super Mario Brothers. It's not really like showing that, but it just seems like that when you're playing through it.
Right.
One of the things I never thought about.
That's just Nintendo's excuse for it. He's not actually attacking these animals. It's all an act.
Right, and the Tanuki suit is not a real raccoon skinned.
You can just skin it.
The transformation.
Yeah.
It's keeping PETA happy.
It's faux fur.
Yeah.
One of my favorite enemies in this game that really has barely in this game, like one level, are the Dino Rhinos, the big green dinosaurs.
I love those. I always thought they were really funny. And when you hit them, then they turn into the tiny dinos.
Yeah. Shoot fire straight up.
They're one of my favorite enemies in this game. For some reason, I just think they're so cool. I think they're only one level, though.
They're pretty adorable. Yeah, you know what that one level is? Chocolate Island 2.
Oh, the one that you got to beat 3 times?
Yeah.
I got a good look at those dinosaurs when I was playing that over and over.
Another enemy I really liked as a kid with the mini ninjas. I think they're only in Bowser's Castle right by the end, but they're little black stars. They were in Super Mario 2.
Yeah.
I always liked them.
I thought it was pretty cool that they seemingly made like a guest appearance.
Yeah, because like Bob-Ombs were really the only thing that carried over from 2 to 3, and it was cool to see something else come out of Doki Doki.
Right.
Well, a lot of stuff continued after that. They added Shy Guys more. Birdo was in stuff. I mean, a lot of stuff was taken from just that game.
Wart was in Link's Awakening.
I thought the Goombas were really ugly in this one. Like that round shape they had, I didn't like that. They didn't seem like Goombas to me.
They weren't. We just talked about that.
He was all
Galoombas.
Yeah. Yeah, I had one.
Those are Galoombas. Not Goombas, Galoombas.
Galoombas.
I didn't know it either. Don't feel bad. All right, as we're kind of wrapping up to this section of the show, one level I do need to talk about that pissed me off back when I played this before, still irritates me. It's the underwater sunken ship that you do right before you unlock Bowser Land. That area, I hate that level so much.
Man, as a kid, I used to absolutely hate it, but it was way easier playing it as an adult. I remember struggling a lot as a kid with that, though.
So I'm guessing, Mike, the struggle was when the ghost would pop out anywhere from you?
Yeah, it was.
Come on, you get to take Yoshi in.
Not for long.
Boos are kind of dicks in this game. Like, they appear in the worst spots. You got the rings of them that float around in a circle, and you got the ones that dive from the ceiling.
I thought those were pieces of shit. The ones that dove from the ceiling.
Yeah, like Boos are the worst. And the aforementioned giant Boos that you have to spin jump on because we all did that.
Yeah, okay.
Except for Mike.
There's no spin jump happening. I tried a couple times, did not work. Then I gave up and never tried again.
It's our drinking game for this episode. Take a shot every time I say spin jump.
A lot of drinks. I haven't had it.
Seriously. Wow.
Want to slurring by the end of the pod.
Yeah, that happens sometimes. That's what happens when you're on. There are drinking podcasts. I've been on one before with a friend of mine, but yeah, it doesn't work out very well usually. All right, and one thing is also interesting, like with Bowser's Castle, I like how there's two different ways to get into that castle to finish the game. Like you can either go in the main way, or if you beat the fort and did a secret exit, you can get into the back door, which goes pretty much directly to him, which is really cool. Which is how I always do it.
But then you go through the numbered doors.
Yeah, I used to go through each number door to see what was in it when I was younger.
Yeah, I went through 2 today when I was doing the 11 eggs. But other than that, no way in hell.
I used to know the easiest ones, and I couldn't remember when I was playing yesterday.
I always just went to the farthest one down, like the farthest one away is what I went to most of the time.
I think you have to beat 2 of them to get to Bowser.
Yeah, because it gives you a set of the first 4 and then 5 through 8.
Okay. And we should talk about the Bowser fight. I mean, when every boss fight, we kind of talked about a little bit earlier, but every boss fight is kind of the same thing. But this is the one fight that's very different in this game because he's in a stupid little flying clown car for some reason, which I don't know why, which is the first introduction of that vehicle that I'm sure a lot of people in other games. Oh, that's what it's called?
Koopa clown car.
Stupid. Also, like the whole way that you hit him, you don't jump on his head. You have to grab the things he spits out and drop it on his head.
Like a Koopas.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which only show up in Bowser's Castle.
I thought that was pretty creative because when else do you have to do that in the game? And it's something that you can do anytime you want, but now you finally utilize it.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah, because you can kick shells throughout the game, but there's not a whole lot of call for it, like you said.
And I also like how in this fight, to make it a little easier on you, what they do is they'll even have Princess Peach pop out and throw mushrooms at you to give you some health, which I appreciate.
To you. She throws them to you, not at you. You make it sound kind of dastard.
Hey, it's still nice. When I was playing this game, trying to play sort of...
Throws them at you. She's like, quit saving me. I want to be here.
Hey, that's what the jokes on the internet sometimes are. She keeps getting kidnapped on purpose.
What do you think she's doing in that clown car? You can't see her head the whole time.
Right? She's ducked way down.
Yeah,
she's crushed under those giant bowling balls that are in there.
That was funny. But hey, at least this game doesn't trick you and show the credits up midway during the final boss fight, and then just make you pick up the controller all of a sudden. So that was nice.
Donkey Kong Country?
Yep. Fucking game pissed me off first time that happened. So I thought about that when I was playing this game. I'm like, it's nice. The game doesn't trick me. The game doesn't lie to me. It just finishes.
It was early on the Super Nintendo. They hadn't thought of that yet. Yeah,
and even the ending. I mean, the ending's real simple. It's just Mario, Peach riding Yoshi, and a bunch of eggs behind him. Because I think the idea that it's the same Yoshi every time that you open an egg, even though you murdered 30,000 of them throughout the game.
Yeah, they're infinite though. Yoshis don't matter. It's fine.
The gold eggs are each castle has one of them in it. Because when the aforementioned little vignettes of Mario destroying the castle, when you beat the boss, he runs out with the egg and then sets it down and then goes back and destroys the castle.
Oh, okay. That didn't register.
Yeah, and then the little egg says, "You saved me," and it hops up and down.
Yeah, another issue with the Mario series, especially back then. I mean, even till now, like the endings are never anything to remember.
Yeah, they always do like a parade on every one of them. It's like a parade and fireworks.
Yeah, it makes you think, well, like, what are they supposed to do? Like, what are they going to do normally?
Yeah, I mean, there's no story like we talked about, so they can't wrap up the story any more than, oh, we saved Peach. Okay.
Yeah, there's nothing epic about it.
Get her back in the bomb shelter so we don't have to do this anymore.
Only when Nintendo needs to make a buck.
Put her back in the castle so Bowser can come by next week and snatch her again.
That's what it feels like, isn't it?
They should just transition into the next game. Like maybe they didn't announce it yet, and they're just going to transition into the endings and transition into it. Like, oh, next, let's go play some tennis, and then a Mario Tennis is coming out next.
I mean, there is a stupid video I watched online that actually tries to like put a storyline to the Mario games.
Man,
yeah,
some YouTubers get pretty desperate.
It's kind of like what Sarah was saying earlier, that it's all stage play, so all the sports games are what they do on their off time. That's why they're all chummy there.
Right.
They're actually friends. They just, they act together.
I buy it for Mario 3. I don't buy it for other stuff. All right. Any last thing we want to say about the game before we go to questions? Oh, I do have one thing I just forgot I want to say. The music in this game. I actually played this entire game with the music on, headphones in. And it's still really good music.
It's iconic.
The music is great. That's one thing I will always remember about this game, other than the new coat of paint that it got, because it did look sharper than like 3 did.
Oh, yeah.
More bubbly than 3 did for sure. But the music, I will always remember.
Yeah, that main athletic theme is like my wife's favorite video game track.
Damn near everybody, especially from our generation, and even some afterwards, they're going to know it.
Yeah, it's one of those little songs that pops on and you know exactly what it's from.
Yep.
I don't usually listen to music, but with this game, I actually had the music on the entire time, which is not like me.
It's going to be 2 episodes in a row.
If you're going to play a Nintendo game or a Mario game, yeah, you should always have the sound on.
I don't. Only certain games do it. I'm really
Did you leave the music on for next week's game?
I did too, yeah.
Okay, I figured you did.
For the first time, not for the second time. So, second time when I played it, I didn't need to hear the music again, but we'll talk about that next week. I think we should. The only main game I listen to music on every single time is Chrono Trigger. That's it.
You have to for that game, or any Zelda game for that matter.
Any Zelda game for sure.
So I think we should go to questions, comments, or memories. So I only asked in 2 different groups because I got a shitload. So I was like, okay, we're just going to stick with these 2 groups. I'm just going to read a few. But the first one from the Overblood replay group, from Tim McCallum. The first time seeing my brother fly straight up in the ghost house and run across to unlock the top secret area blew my mind as a very young child.
Yeah,
kind of blows my mind too still.
Yeah.
As a kid, I think I felt the same way.
Yeah, a lot of those secret exits are really well hidden, like the Butter Bridge where you have to go down under the first goalpost and there's another one behind it. Like, I don't know how we figured that crap out when we were younger.
Yeah.
I know for me, it was always my brother teaching me, and he learned it from somebody else. So it was just how it went. I got to know all the secrets the first time I played it.
That's awesome. It's
and
playground, word of mouth.
Yeah. And from Ray K, I could never beat it till I was an adult. I'm the same boat with you, sir. Oh, you might be able to agree with this one, Rich. From Brent Johnson, this is one of the 2 video games I know my dad liked. He used to play it with me and my brother. Only game he ever liked more was Donkey Kong Country.
Oh, yeah. His dad has good taste, man.
And from Danny Palacio, said, was such a fun game, but was challenging at times, too. Oh, yeah, definitely still challenging.
Oh, yeah.
It kicks my ass still. Except I had save states, so it was, a little better, but... Oh, here's an interesting one from Lucas Adams. I could talk about this game all day. The first video game I ever played. My brothers and I used to pass the controller. It's literally what made me fall in love with games, and I still go back to it regularly. Also, fun fact, according to the instruction manual, the sunken ghost ship is one of Super Mario Bros. 3's airship, which eventually crashed into the sea. Fuck that level, but I enjoy the connection.
I always thought that because it seems like one.
That's cool. I never knew that. Okay. And last one from this group that I'm going to read from Stephen Coates. Love this game. Wish I still had my first cartridge and this was an early release. And Yoshi could eat the purple sea urchins if he got his tongue on their nose. Mm-hmm. Made the game a lot easier. I never did that. I didn't know if you could or not. I never tried.
It's on the original cartridge only.
Oh.
Wow. I didn't know that.
I did not know that. That's cool. Okay. And now I'm going to read some from the Super Nintendo Super Group. From Kevin Tasker. A timeless classic. Remember as a kid getting stuck on World 3, Vanilla Dome, Castle for ages. The Magic Koopas got me over and over. Eventually I beat it, obsessed over the game, and to get all 96 exits, platforming perfection. I mean, someone else hated those fucking Magic Koopas too. Wasn't just you. They are annoying me. Well, I just hate Magic Koopa because of him. I had to go rescue a baby for an entire game, and I had to hear, wah, wah. So,
they shoot the shoot the PlayStation buttons at you.
They do.
And this one from Luke Middleham. Beat it for the first time last week. Was a Sega boy growing up. Found it fairly tough, but loved it all the same. It's still tough, but still really good. I mean, I think it's tough. But then again, I don't
know. It's one I've replayed so many times. It's not tough at all at this point. Like
tough for me just based on time constraints. If I didn't have the time constraints I do now, and I had all the time in the world like I did as a kid, man, it wouldn't matter at all.
This early world, it's all just muscle memory. Like I'm like, okay, the secret egg is here, and then if I go down here, I get one up, and it just came back to me like instantly.
That's why like, when Mike brought up the Forest of Illusion. Like there was a part where I was like, oh yeah, this shit circles around. So I went to the part. Well, there was a couple parts, but I went to one I knew for sure that I could break away from that circle, and I was like, yep, there it is, easy enough. just on that muscle memory.
Yeah, I had a lot of muscle memory too in this game when I was playing through it. Like there are certain things that are just engraved in my head for all of time. Whether I wanted to be or not, they're there. I noticed that a lot playing this last time. And one other one I do want to read from Jordan. You moment of silence for the Yoshi you have to intentionally sacrifice to make the jump on the bridge level.
Mm-hmm.
I like that one. Oh, here's a good one from Darren Lee. I beat the game and opened my bedroom window to shout to my friends. I told them I had beat Mario World. They didn't believe me, so I grabbed my very heavy CRT TV and lifted it to the window to show them. All the wires, SNES, and power supply were hanging in midair. I didn't care. I was so happy. I turned my TV up as loud as I could so the whole street heard the ending music of Super Mario World. Man, CRTVs are a bitch.
That's awesome.
That was dedication, man. Pure dedication.
For real.
That's how you had to do it.
He was going to let everyone know.
I do not miss that time. I am so happy that we have flat screen TVs and we have TVs that don't weigh 30 pounds to move them. Like, I'm so happy we're 40, 50 pounds, whatever the hell some of those CRTs were. I'm so happy we're done with those days.
The ending theme is one of my favorites in like all video games. It's good stuff. So he was doing them a favor.
You said Frog's theme wrong, sir.
I didn't say it was the best. I said it was one of the best ending themes.
I can't think of the ending theme for Chrono Trigger right now.
It's very good. You should look it up.
I can't remember it. Okay, and from Nebula Vosse, when I was a kid, we used to call Vanilla Ghost House the Snot Bubbles level and call Thwomp Pappy Nappy. I don't get the Pappy
Yeah.
Wow.
That was the thing back then. A lot of games, especially a lot of Super Nintendo games, you would just kind of make up the names for the enemies as you went along. Yeah, I think in some Mario games they actually had the showcase of the names of the enemies, but shit, before then, you just made it up as you went. I remember in like Contra 3, for example, instead of calling the bosses, we would call them, oh, here comes the big guy. Like, we would just, that's how we were as kids.
And from Brandon James, being a disappointed toddler that my Super Mario Brothers 3 didn't have Yoshi. I like that one. That made me laugh. And I'm going to read one more. All right, last one we're going to read. From James Bridges, school camp getting canceled and using the money to buy a SNES with this literally was a life-changing moment. Hey, great. I mean, this is a great pack-in game to have.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, again, Nintendo was smart to do that, even though I know they didn't like pack-in games. But it's an America thing. We liked our pack-in game. We liked our packed-in games.
Yeah, that went away.
Yes, it did, unfortunately.
This was one of the last ones.
No, there was one for N64, wasn't there?
A packing
I don't
game.
Yeah.
think so.
DK64
I
was
was gonna
one.
say DK.
That's the one I got.
That game.
I guess there's Wii Sports too.
The
So
Wii Sports, yeah.
I still have never played Donkey Kong 64 for very far.
Yeah, it's not entirely worth it.
Yeah, the boss is kind of a disappointment with all the puzzles and stuff you go through. It's
Like, that is the biggest collectathon I think I've ever played.
for real.
Yeah, that's why I've kind of stayed away from it all these
Felt
years.
Way more dull than any previous ones or any ones after. I mean, Donkey Kong Country Returns, way more worth it.
Mm-hmm.
64, like I feel like I should play it just to play it someday, but who knows what will ever actually happen.
You should. If you're going to emulate it, though,
Yeah, I mean, I still like it.
Of course I'm going to emulate it. Come on now.
well, that's where your
There's-
problem is.
There's a
64
ROM hack that
emulated
lets
suck.
you change between the 5 Kongs like with a button press instead of going all the way back to the warp barrels.
Oh, that's
sounds-
cool.
That sounds more fun, yeah.
Yeah,
Sounds a lot better.
See, if
that's
they
one
would
of the
have had that
problems with the
feature
game.
alone, I think I would have enjoyed it a hell of a lot more.
Oh yeah, it's just tedious going back and
Trying to
forth.
find where you're going, and then you have to switch as soon as you get to something else.
Yeah, if you're
Endless
going
collecting.
to play a rare platformer on 64, Conquer is the way to go.
If we ever do that, you're coming back for that game.
Oh, I will.
I thought about putting that on my list. I'm like, is that really a good fit for this show? Yeah, probably.
I mean, you want to hear me swear more than I normally swear? Sure, put it on here. That's what will happen. Because that's one of those games. All right, anything else we should say about Super Mario World before we go to show for Box?
I don't know that I ever touched on what tubular is and why everyone hates it. So it's a completely horizontal level, and you have to keep getting the pea balloons that inflate Mario, and he kind of floats. And you have to get to the next one. You have to find the next one before it runs out and you fall into a bottomless pit. You have to get.
Or you can use a blue Yoshi and fly all the way through it.
Or you can cheat, like Sarah said.
Be resourceful.
Yeah, that's probably the right way. Now that I know that that's the way to do that level, that's the right way to do it. That level is fucking hard otherwise, though.
Pretty brutal. It's definitely not tubular.
I think it's funny how in Special World all the levels have like those weird, stupid names like that. Tubular, gnarly.
Very 90s names. Like, I wonder what they were in.
Like the Ninja Turtles made up the names.
Like, just picked weird words.
I like Rich's version better.
The Ninja Turtles making up the level names.
Well, maybe Raphael found a shirt in the garbage that said "Cowabunga" on it. You know, that's how it came from. So, all right, I think that about wraps up everything I want to say about this. We should go to shelf or box. And Mike, why don't you go first?
Oh man, this is an easy shelf. Like, I don't think we really have to think about it. It kind of set a standard for a while. Like, everyone loved Mario Brothers 3, and this kind of did everything it did but better, except taking out the Hammer Brothers suit.
True that.
And Rich's frog suit.
Yes, thank you.
The frog suit's not good.
But like I said earlier, like, it was easy just to pick up and fall right back into that groove. Like, I remembered where almost all the exits were, especially for the early game. It's just, I practically did it with my eyes closed. Not really, but you know what I mean. So yeah, like, easy box or shelf.
I was gonna say, wait a second there.
The good one.
He meant mint in box on the shelf.
Yeah, he meant CIB on shelf.
He's just traumatized from other games that we've been covering on the show. He's traumatized from the comic we recorded earlier today.
I'm traumatized trying to find my last exit where I had 95 for like an hour. Ended up being the stupid ghost house in the forest.
I had 94 and I just said, okay, we're good. No. I wanted 96. I had jumped into this game, this goal being I was going to get 96, and then it never happened.
I got to 95, and like I said, it took me a while, and I'm like, do I really? Yeah, I better find this. Just so I can say I did.
Also, apparently when you do beat the special world, the bullet bills change into Pidgeot build, but I have no idea what that is.
Oh, Pidgeots are from Mario 2. They're the things that ride on the floating carpets.
Oh, okay. Huh, I didn't see that when I was playing. Now I might have to go back and try to find a level with them to go see what they look like. I'm trying to Google it as we're talking, and I can't find it.
Also, I want to say my favorite level was Star World 3, where you got to carry the red Yoshi around, the baby one.
That was a pain in the ass, but it was pretty cool.
I like feeding the Yoshis.
I do too. I like getting the enemies and just bringing them close and you just eat them. Like, I love that. It's great. All right, how about you, Rich? Shelf or box?
Oh yeah, just a easy shelf for me for sure. This one, like we've all been saying the whole time, is super iconic. You can never forget that music. Once I started up that title screen, right away I felt like I was 10 years old again. Like, again, 3 is a little more superior to me, and I do miss some of the suits as we mentioned, but you can never beat this game. I thought it was the right game. If you are gonna box it with the system, ship it with the system, this was definitely the game to do it with. I would forever shelf this thing.
Okay. And Sarah, how about you?
Oh, it's definitely shelf. I have this on multiple platforms. I've played it on my Switch. I have it downloaded on my Wii U. I have the Game Boy Advance version of it. I've played this game way more times than I can count. But it was one of my childhood favorites, and I remember always being really determined to get every single level. So it was definitely one of my favorites.
All right. And I'll go last. I mean, this is also, I'm obviously putting this on the shelf. This is not my favorite Super Nintendo game, but it's up there, probably the top 10, easy. Maybe top 5 even, but it is such a good game. Like, it's one of the kind of game you just pick up and play. I mean, I probably won't because I can't pick up and play any of the game without trying to finish it because I have issues like that. But it's a fun game. Like, it's a really good game, and there's so many things that are in here that I, even like this last playthrough, where this is the first time I really tried for 96 exit and got close. It was such a fun experience. Like, it was, I almost beat this. I think, I beat the entire game in a weekend. I just sat down, and in between recording, I just played this game and just finished it, and it was a blast. So definitely go on the shelf, and I'm very glad I finally got to play it for the show. All right. Oh, I also do want to say that if you do want to play this game is on Super Nintendo. It's on the Wii digital download. Well, it was. Wii U digital download, which still works. I proved. As of last week, I proved. Virtual Console Wii U still works, unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
I had to download Pokemon Snap. I couldn't get, as you were talking about earlier, 64 emulation. I could not get it to run.
Mm-hmm. I still have a copy of the original 64 version.
Me too.
64 is not nice.
I do.
for emulation.
I do somewhere.
I thought I did. It's also on Nintendo Switch. It's on 3DS, and it's also on the SNES Mini for any of those people that actually still have that thing.
Yeah, I have it in front of me right now.
The thing is hard. Isn't that thing hard to find now? I'm assuming.
I assume it is, yeah.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, I don't care about it because I just have other ways of playing these games. But
Same. I got a retro.
I thought about buying it, and I was like, wait a second, why would I want this? I was like,
Yeah, I think I got it for a slight discount. He's like, I was like, just screw it, let me get it.
does it even have the best game ever on it?
No.
Donkey Kong.
The one you're referring to, Mike, is not
Chrono
on there.
Trigger. No, it is not on there.
Okay, then it's not worth it.
There is a DS version of Chrono Trigger, though.
Oh, yeah.
I played that.
Yeah.
It's got that other Square Enix game on there, though.
Is
Yeah.
that Final Fantasy 6?
Yep.
Okay.
Is 6 on there, really?
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
Okay, so it has one of the best games then, at least.
One of the
Chrono
coolest
Trigger's
things
still
would be if
better,
they-
but
Oh, of course.
6 is really good.
Yeah, 6 is
Yep.
amazing, for sure.
6 Earthbound, Mario RPG, and Secret of Mana for the RPG
Nice.
crowd.
You don't need Earthbound.
Rude.
Earthbound's good, but
Earthbound's great.
Earthbound's so good.
Well, we'll get there someday. So,
Yes, we will.
Breath of Fire 2. You need to play Breath of Fire 2 also.
Or live.
Live will definitely happen. Breath of Fire 2 now will happen, too, because I have someone who's willing to play that with me.
Have you played that before or no?
No.
That is such a good game.
Yeah, you kind of missed out then. That was good.
So great.
It's always been on my list to play. I played Live, as you're aware, a few
Yeah, of
times.
course.
It was almost on the show multiple times. We've almost tried to put it on. It just keeps falling off.
My absolute favorite Super Nintendo game.
Breath of Fire 2?
Yeah.
Okay. You have my interest. It seems like a weird pick to be one of your favorite, but okay, I'll try it.
That begs the question, have you played Chrono Trigger?
Yes, I have. I own it for each platform. Sorry, I'm still going to say Breath of Fire 2 is my favorite. Still
Sounds
my
like a
favorite.
lie.
That's a hot take right there. Very
Oh,
hot
fair.
take. All right. I think we should I'll introduce what we're going to be talking about next week, because apparently we're on a Super Nintendo kick right now. We're going to be talking about actually a game I enjoyed more than this game, Mega Man X for Super Nintendo.
That's surprising.
I was too. I beat Mega Man X twice this weekend.
That actually takes more coordination. You must have used a hell of a lot of mistakes.
Did you cheat and look up
say that?
which ones to pick in line?
I just played in my own order. I actually don't use a hell of a amount of save states. I use some, but I actually pretty good at Mega Man X, except for the Sigma levels. Sigma levels, fuck those levels, but the rest of the game I'm okay at. But we'll get there next week. All right. And then also, I just want to say, if you enjoyed this episode, we do a ton of other episodes to listen to. We have comic episodes. We have movie episodes. We're currently going through the MCU movies, and we have Avengers should be out around this time. I want to say at the time you heard this. So definitely check those out. Those are a lot of fun and a lot of work. So we definitely want you to listen to those. And if you enjoy Mario, we did Super Mario Land 1 and 2 not that long ago. Mike, you remember what episode that was? By any chance?
78.
78. And we also covered Super Mario Land 2, Yoshi's Island, a long time ago. So check that out too. I don't remember what episode number that was. So definitely check those out if you need more Mario fix. And if you enjoyed the show, tell someone, tell a friend, tell an enemy. I don't care. Let somebody know that you enjoyed our show. And the more listeners we get, the more that we can eventually do with this show. So, and also, please follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, where I'm constantly posting images of the upcoming games that we have going on and let you know all the extra episodes that we do, because we do a ton of episodes for this show, because I'm kind of crazy sometimes about that. There's a lot of stuff for you guys to listen to. Also want to give a shout out to our awesome intro and outro, courtesy of Bulby, a.k.a. Mike Stoney from the CP Bite the Bullet. Song's the Cool Kid Squad. So definitely check him out on his YouTube channel. And I think that's everything I need to say. So I will see everybody next week. Bye, everybody.
Yoshi's
Bye.
Island's better than Mario World.
What was that?
Fail.
I don't know. Bye, everyone.